Hello, welcome back to the podcast, the final episode for 2024, and actually the final episode of Hormones in Harmony. But not is all what it seems. If you listen till the end, you're going to find out exactly what I mean and what is coming from the show. But this has been one of the fastest years ever. I feel like as you get older and each year passes by, you just say the same thing. Such a cliche, but it's true. And this is probably one of the only winters that I've actually enjoyed. I mean, we're still only in the start of winter. Let's see how I feel mid-February. But this year I feel just so much more like I enjoy it. And even just now, the cozy vibes, I'm just appreciating it a lot more. And I was trying to think of what shifted. I think it's just my perception. Maybe it's being 30 now. I've matured a little bit and I can just understand that there's going to be seasons to life, and there's going to be times where you're more productive, and then there's times that you slow down, and nature does the exact same thing. So I'm here for it this year, and I'm recording this a couple of weeks ago from when you're listening, so it's not the night before New Year's Eve. When you're listening to this, I am still in work. I'm just recording a few little podcast episodes. But yeah, in the Christmas to New Year window, I'm reducing my workload. I'm not seeing clients, but I am hosting a workshop tonight when you're listening, the 30th of December, and it's called Up Level, which you can still join if you're listening in time. It's just £33 for a ticket, or if you're a one-to-one client, you can come for free. Just another benefit of working with me. It's going to be at 7 p.m. UK time, and just send me a DM or email to come along. Just as a reminder, this is going to be on our 2025 intentions, goal settings. We're going to identify and celebrate wins that we've had from this past year. So you know what works well and what we want to carry on into the new year. We can celebrate that. Releasing any beliefs or patterns holding you back from manifesting a dream life and an amazing year ahead. You're going to get clear on your intentions and desires in all areas of life for the new year: health, career, relationship, finances. And then you're going to be guided through powerful activations, which are going to help you to align your frequency and call in whatever it is that you're desiring. So I would love to see you there. There is going to be a replay sent out. So even if you can't come live, if you get your ticket and you send me a message, you'll be sent out the replay. So you can do that even if it's in the first week of January. It's better late than never. And this year I would have hosted Christmas again. We shall see how that went, because last year I was pretty ill. So this year, manifesting fit and healthy so that I can enjoy it a little bit more. And then I've been off work since the 20th of December. Luke's birthday is on the 22nd. So we spend a few days before Christmas with his family. His sister's due to have a baby in February, so she's almost ready to pop. And I'm going to have another niece or nephew, which is so cool. So excited for that. And then Christmas Day, he spends it with my family, and then he's back at work on Boxing Day. So just got some bits and bobs work-wise to do. Welcomed in some lovely new clients in December who took advantage of the Black Friday stool test bonus that I had on offer. So they'll be starting their healing journeys with me in January. And I'm just so excited to see what the new year has in store for me. I mean, we are the creators of our reality. So I will play a role in that, how I show up every day, my daily thoughts and vibration, but the universe will always have surprises in store for us. So I don't want to create too much of a strict plan of action. And you're going to see that with my intentions, 2025 resolutions, whatever you want to call them. They're a little bit different to what they have been in the past. And I wanted to use this episode to share some of those, also reflect on what I learned in the past year, some of the top episodes, and I'll link to those as well and not go through. I'm not going to share the exact full episode, but I'll give you the highlights. And I listened back to my video from last year where I shared my intentions for 2024. So I'm going to go through them now and share how I did. So the first section was on work, and I said that I wanted to reach 25,000 followers on Instagram, which I haven't done. I've not even hit 10,000, but I'm not actually bothered about that anymore. I want to thank my lovely assistant Eva over this past year for helping. If you've noticed an upgrade in my visuals on Instagram, that's all her work. She's so amazing. But yeah, I just don't think the number of followers even matters anymore. Last year, yeah, I was still like, I would love to at least past the 10,000 followers mark, but no, it is what it is, and I know I'm still having an impact, so that's fine. And next goal was to run 2 group programs, which I did. I ran Reprogram early in the year, which is my physical and subconscious healing program, and then Modern Woman, which I just finished up in November. So met that goal, really happy with that. And finally, on the business section, it was to do an in-person event for the first time, and I did that in October. So 2 out of 3 is pretty good. And then health-wise, it was to be the fittest and healthiest I've ever been and lose some body fat. And yes, I feel like that definitely happened. I said specifically my cardiovascular health, and I even mentioned running. Like, I don't know what I was thinking when I said that because I don't really want to do that either. So that's something that's shifted, which is fine. Improve my histamine tolerance. Yes, I would say that that's improved, and it does every single year. If I think of where I was at 5, 6 years ago, just reactive to literally everything, not even just food, chemicals, environment. And no, it's still not perfect. My levels can get a little bit higher if I eat a lot of high histamine foods. But the biggest things that have helped me this year are nervous system regulation, breath work, that ties into it, building muscle and working on my metabolism. And I also started doing lymphatic massage every day. It's the Big Six by Dr. Perry, who was on the show a few months ago. I really feel like they made a big difference. And then lastly, on this section, it was to feel more feminine, relaxed, and magnetic. And I would say also, yes, but only the past few months. I did a podcast episode on this last month sharing my journey, and I've not mastered it by any means, but I do feel a shift. I think it came with my 30th birthday after September. As the year was coming to an end, I really started to notice the difference. And I have the Pattern app. If you don't have it, for me, it is so spot on. It's based on your astrology and your birth chart, and it always is so accurate. And I don't just look at that first and have it tell me. I feel what's going on, and then I look at that and it always confirms. Even with relationships, I've done it with my friend, my partner, and it always is spot on with what it says. So download the Pattern if you haven't already. It's completely free as well. There's a paid version with loads of other extras, but the free version is amazing. And then my last manifestation of 2024, I wrote down, was to get a new car, which I did. And it wasn't the exact model that I thought I was going to go for, but I had it on my vision board, and the picture inside the car looks exactly the same as this new model. I didn't even know this new model existed. And for me, it was more about the feeling than the exact appearance. And a similar thing happened with my house, because for months I was set on a house in a completely different neighborhood, and now I'm like, why did I even want to move there? I love where I am now. I'm so close to my family, and this would have been 10, 15 minutes further afield. And this house is way more perfect for me than the one that I thought I wanted. So same thing happened with the car. It was more about the feeling for me as a non-specific manifester. That's what I base it off. I just wanted to feel like I had more space. I wanted to feel more confident. I wanted to have a bigger car than what I had. And yeah, I love this new one. And I said I wanted to be in my mom energy, my mom car. And I'm not pregnant. I'm not having kids anytime soon, but yeah, I achieved that goal. So I think I did pretty well. So this is just the power of even sharing your manifestations with other people, your goals. I think, create something crazy like 40%, 60% more likely to achieve them if you actually share them. So that's why my clients get great results as well, is because I'm holding them accountable for their goals. I just want to take a quick pause to ask you a really important question. Where do you want your health to be in 6 months' time? More energized, feeling comfortable in your skin and body again, excited for life because you're finally starting to see improvements with your health, or frustrated and depressed because you're still struggling with symptoms, which are taking over your life and stopping you from living life to the full. If you want the first option, you're going to have to do something different. After all, the definition of insanity is doing the same things over again and expecting a different result. If you're DIYing your health, meaning trying to heal yourself through researching, trial and error, wasting a lot of money and time in the process, then you could be sabotaging your results. Would you try and fix your car if it broke and you didn't know what was wrong with it? No. So why are you trying to do it all alone when it comes to the most important thing that we have in our life, our health? Trust me, actually asking for help and investing in yourself saves you time, money, and a lot of stress in the long run. I know you're probably not getting any answers or support from your doctor. I've been there too. That's why I created my 6-month signature hormone reset package. This one-to-one coaching package offers the highest level of support and transformation as we'd be closely working together to identify and address the underlying root causes of your health issues. Even if you're already eating healthy and taking supplements, there's so much more to healing, so don't feel like you've tried it all. Let me help you figure out what's causing your stubborn symptoms and support your body in healing naturally, which, in case no one has ever told you, is completely possible. Check out my website, which is linked in the episode show notes for more information, and the links to apply or book an enrollment call are there if you want to chat further. If you've been looking for a sign, this is it. And then let's go into my 2025 intentions. As I said at the start, they are a little bit different and much smaller list than what I had before. And the first one is to do another workshop in Manchester, I think April time. So I'm going to get that sorted in January. So if you missed out last time or you came and you want to come to the next one, set your calendars for sometime in April, but there'll be more details coming out soon. I want to complete for myself at least 2 more training certifications. And I think I'm starting a new one in a few weeks' time because I actually won access to it. I won a spiritual business coaching certification by someone who I met at a retreat called Liz Roberta. And I'm pretty sure it's starting really soon. So I've got that. And then maybe something else later in the year. I don't know yet. Maybe breath work, Reiki, who knows? But I just want to add more tools to my toolkit. And I just love studying and always have done. So we shall see. I want to attend another retreat. So I didn't have any plans at the start of last year to go on a retreat, but then I just started to get a nudge and I did book it pretty last minute. I went in May to Mallorca and had the best time ever. So I definitely want to start doing a retreat at least once a year. I want to run another 1 to 2 group programs, whether it's Reprogram or Modern Woman or something new. So if you have been wanting to work with me in a group setting, that will be coming back. And I think that's about it. I'm really happy with other areas of my life. I don't feel like I need any fitness goals. I'm really into my Pilates still, and I just want to get better with that. And I just want to see what happens naturally. So going in with a plan, I want to show up as my higher self every day and just see what the universe has in store for me. And then let's get on to the top 5 most downloaded and most popular episodes of the year. So I'm always excited to see what they're going to be because I honestly have no idea. There's some that I just do really randomly, just on the day I feel called to chat about a subject, and it often ends up being one of the most downloaded. And then there's other ones I plan meticulously and spend hours prepping for, and they don't really do as well. So number 1 was how to balance your hormones and heal when you're short on time, and it was top tips for busy people, episode 228. I will be linking all of these in the show notes if you want to check them out. And this tells me a lot. Obviously, you guys are feeling overwhelmed and you have a lot going on. So I'm really glad that I did this episode. I shared really actionable tips. So I definitely recommend checking it out if you're someone who just needs to know the absolute basics, and a lot of them are free and are just about organization, habit stacking, not necessarily adding 10 new things to your to-do list. Number 2 was improving your mitochondrial health for optimal energy, brain function, and hormone balance. This was episode 231. And I hadn't done a standalone episode on mitochondria, so I've got that one in the library too, in the archives to go back to. And the analogy that I gave that I'll just share now about mitochondrial health and why it's so important. These are the little factories inside every single cell of your body, and they are the energy powerhouses. So they turn your food into energy, and it's also called ATP in the body. So the factory analogy is how there can be dysfunction within the mitochondria. So imagine the factory is short-staffed. So that's your mitochondria not having the nutrients and the resources to work properly. So you could be lacking on amino acids, B vitamins, certain minerals, CoQ10, either not eating enough of them or not absorbing and digesting enough of them. This is how gut health can be so tied, and mineral deficiencies, soil depletion, just in the modern world. The other thing that could happen in a factory is that there's something wrong with the machinery. There's like a spanner in the works, something stopping the conveyor belts from working properly. And this can be toxins. This can be stress, trauma, parasite infections, mold toxicity. It can literally block your factories from working properly and producing energy and absorbing that nutrition from your food. It's so overlooked, mitochondrial health, and it is something that I work on with clients, even if I don't mention it directly to them, because I don't feel like they need to know the intricacy and the science. But mitochondrial health is so important, like I said, for energy, brain function, hormone balance, but literally everything to function how it should, because your body needs energy to do all of its jobs. Episode 3 of the highest downloads was the biology of belief and how your thoughts influence your health, episode 229. And this was my recap of a Bruce Lipton talk that I went to earlier in the year in Manchester. I had the best time. It was so amazing. I went with my boyfriend and he was like, "Who is this guy?" And I'd read his books ages ago, but I just got really into him again. And then after that, Joe Dispenza, that whole world of mind-body connection. And the main focus of the talk was how genetics are just one aspect, and actually epigenetics are way more important. With all of these chronic diseases, cancers, even things like infertility and dementia, neurodegenerative conditions, 90 to 95% of it is environmentally driven. And when I say environment, it's your water quality, your food quality, but also emotions, toxins, relationships. And we talked about people living in fear, especially over the past few years with what happened after the pandemic. A lot of people live in fear of viruses and bugs and their immune system and what's going to happen to the economy. And that is just going to actually change your frequency and attract more things to be scared of into your environment. So he shared how gratitude and feeling love and feeling inner peace can actually be really healing to the body. I recommend his book, Biology of Belief. So good. Number 4 is the progesterone deep dive I did. So I talked about the benefits, symptoms of deficiency, and how to boost your levels naturally in episode 240. This is a big problem for modern women. So that's why I created the episode, just to have a resource people could go to, and I share pretty much everything you need to know about progesterone in there. When progesterone is low, it can affect your fertility, but also your mental health. It can cause you to have PMS. That's probably the main reason that you're struggling with PMS, either too low of progesterone or your estrogen is not being detoxified properly. But that estrogen progesterone balance is absolutely key in the second half of your cycle for you to feel good. You should actually feel probably the best you do in the luteal phase. And when you have adequate levels of progesterone, it's very calming to the nervous system, and it's such a big factor in your health every day, but also every cycle, and just health in general, bone health, your risk of diseases long term. And stress is the biggest factor that depletes your levels, but stress is this umbrella term for a lot of different things. So it could be a nutrient deficiency, a gut imbalance. You'll have to listen to the episode to get the full list and what you can do, but really key if you're a woman of reproductive years. Last but not least, episode 234 was the 5th ranking, and it was how I got my average HRV score from 50 to 100 plus. Here's what worked for me. That's episode 234. And it's because earlier this year, my HRV, which is heart rate variability, dropped quite significantly in the new year. So at the start of 2024, I was ill over Christmas. And then I think that took a big knock to my immune system, and I just didn't fully recover from it. And my average had always been around 100. And that is quite high, but it's also like a good reflection of my overall health. But for months, about 4 to 6 months, it was quite low, and it was concerning because for some people 50 is the average, but for me it was significantly lower than what it had been. And I was racking my brain, I was doing loads of experiments trying to figure out what was helping it. And there were times that it would go back up to 80 or 100, and I'd try and recreate what had changed. And I found out a good number of factors that were contributing. I think I ended up with about 8 to 10 things. They're all explained on the episode. but it was a combination of some nutrient deficiencies, some stress and nervous system work, and then there's some like weird things on there that I never would have thought of, but now it actually makes sense. And yeah, I've been able to keep it consistently around 100 again after dealing and working on all of those things. So those are the episodes. Who knows what's going to come of the rankings in 2025, but this brings us on to the final update of the year, and the episode is that we're saying goodbye to the Hormones in Harmony podcast. But don't worry, I'm still keeping the podcast. I'm just changing the name and doing a little bit of a rebrand. Instead, it's going to be the Viva Natural Health podcast, which is my brand name in every other place. I just wanted to have the branding being consistent. Plus, I know it hasn't stopped me now and like talking about different things, but I just didn't want to feel like I had to keep talking about hormone health all the time, because I want to talk and branch out more on spirituality, personal development, money mindset, and whatever the first episode is going to be. It's coming on the 6th of January. I would love for you to stay around and give it a little bit of a support, and it's going to be better than ever. Little reminder though, if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate you leaving a rating and review on whatever platform you listen to this show on, because it really does make a big difference, and it would be a nice little Christmas gift for me, and it shows that you're still loving the episode. It takes 2 minutes and it would mean the world. But thank you so much for listening today, or for another year if you're a regular listener. I hope you have a lovely New Year celebration and start to your 2025. Remember that if you want to join tonight's Up Level workshop at 7 p.m, we can spend 90 minutes or so getting clear on your New Year's intentions, whatever you're letting go of, and the identity of future you. I will see you there, and wishing you all the best for the new year. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, I would love for you to leave me a rating and review on your podcast app, as this helps to support the show and it allows it to reach more people with this valuable information. Come and say hi over on Instagram. I'm at Viva Natural Health. And if you haven't already, check out my website, vivanaturalhealth.co.uk, for tons more free resources and to discover how I could support you further. I currently offer one-on-one consultation packages if you want my top level support, then more affordable group programs and self-paced online courses. So there really is something for everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you back here next week for another episode.